So welcome everyone to the community call. Today, Federico is not here. He is traveling back to Argentina as part of the team is doing after ETH CC last week. And well, just to like to talk a little bit about ETH CC, and we have Kaz over here that will talk about the prediction markets. The Futarchy markets that we market that we launched this week, and also the proposal from this market that it's I would say groundbreaking for Kleros. And about ETC, we had 3 talks by team members last week. One was from Clement. It was about prediction markets and Futarchy. So very in line with what Kaz will talk about. And another one was by Federico about how to use Kleros to align decisions of AI to the decisions that will be taken by humans, and maybe think about designing systems that keep the human values in place. It was a very interesting talk, and we also have like some recommended reading by Federico. And the other talk that we have was by William, and William is here. Let me just accept you, William, to be a speaker. Can you talk about what was the subject of your talk?
Sure. So I assume you asked me to share the subject of my talk. It cut out, the sound cut for a moment. Yeah, so I talked about peer prediction and how like we can use some of the ideas from this existing academic field on the intersection between computer science and economics to design different dispute kits that are compatible with Kleros v2 that basically adjust how big the vote stake is to how hard a case is, how uncertain, how fuzzy the case is, so that you can discourage people from always voting like the same way or randomly in a way that's sort of more efficient with respect to the deposits that are required from people. So generally, this is in line with a lot of the research I've been doing about how to like have different kinds of dispute kits with different incentives in voting that are adapted to different situations. In this particular situation, cases where like the rate at which one outcome wins is highly unbalanced.
Thanks, William. So I remember something that I wonder if I can ask about it now. Federico, on his talk, he talked about autocracy and the risk that humans might have if they rely too much on AI and start to default to the AI opinion. Do you think your research might help with that? Like, have you talked about this?
Yeah, that's not something
Thought about this? Yeah.
That's not something I thought a whole lot about directly. It's a good point. That is an example of a situation where people like a lazy strategy is always voting for the AI. And if you use the peer prediction incentive scheme, you don't only ask people what the AI says, but also like how likely the other jurors are to agree with the AI. Like maybe the AI is giving you an estimate for that too, and you're also sort of like lazily reporting like that value. Generally speaking, like this, voting system to like up the deposits for cases where like the human beings agreed that like no, really, this was a clear-cut thing where the AI was wrong, and you were lazy and you just voted with the AI, is something that you can do. It's at least worth experimenting with.
Nice, interesting. So there's still some hope, let's say. Okay. So another interesting thing about the ETH CC, maybe what I think is interesting is that we saw lots of presentations and talks about creating like real use cases or cases that bring something good to the real world instead of maybe just infrastructure, which has been probably the center of attention of the previous Ethereum conferences. And of course, this is good for Kleros, since that's exactly what is being built. And we even saw a talk by Vitalik talking that touched on like the main, basically on the principles that that should be the goal of the Ethereum community, instead of just talking about decentralization. Think about the properties that decentralization brings, and the positives of creating technologies on top of blockchains. So this was pretty inspiring and also very aligned with the goal of DevConnect in Buenos Aires this year. So that was pretty nice. We saw also lots of projects and people talking about the intersection between AI and crypto. And this is also something that we have been experimenting with, and that's that was the subject of Federico's talk. And another thing is that a couple of team members and ex-team members participated on a hackathon, and they created a cross-chain solution that uses different bridge that has, I think, maybe 50 or more chains supported. And one of their objectives was to create something using AI tools and to speed up the development process, and well, get something working. It looks like they had great progress in a very short time, and they will be sharing their knowledge with the team and with the community. We'll probably have a session with Baru or Devrel in the coming weeks about this. And well, this experience also helps them find the blind spots of our documentation and what we should do to make vibe coding Kleros applications easy. There are some applications that are more prone to that type of creation, let's say, and there are others that, of course, require audits and more deep work. But well, I think this is also a step in the right direction to make it easy for developers to build on top of Kleros. So I think these are the main things for ETH CC. So let's talk a little bit about Key 76 that was released yesterday, actually on Monday. Basically, as most people know, it's possible to the contract of Kleros allows for minting BNK when the DAO votes that it should be minted, and this has always been used when for incentive programs, for example, the Jura incentive program that rewards stakers. And people are sometimes concerned that the minting process will happen if when they are afraid of being diluted when they do not agree with a certain proposal. And so we thought about different solutions to that, to create more guarantees that nothing that people don't like will happen. Well, this in most parts is already guaranteed because there's a DAO vote before minting, but if we add assurances, then people will be more happy with the current situation. So one interesting solution that has been always in the orbit of Kleros is using Futarchy, and we are finally at a point where we can propose and implement that. And that's what Clement, Facundo, and I would say probably Cas has been working on in the last couple of months or weeks, and that has the proposal was posted this Monday. It's now up to vote, and the interesting part is that you can already trade on the market that tries to put a value on the expected expected return if the proposal gets accepted. So you can bet if it will impact positively on the price of PNK, or if the proposal will impact negatively on the price of PNK, and the proposal only gets accepted if it has a positive price impact, expected price impact. So, Cas, can you tell me a little bit about how was the
So, Jin, I'm sorry, I had a small issue here. Would you like me to add something, to comment something? Can you hear me? I don't hear you at all.
I can hear you, Cass. I think Gene dropped.
Okay, so yeah, so the idea of Futarchy specifically for this is you can have a proposal, and you can trade on the price of the PNK token, conditional on the proposal passing or conditional on the proposal failing. So if you think the proposal is going to be good for Kleros, you can buy only the yes version of the PNK token. And this is the same thing as basically investing in Kleros only if the proposal is implemented, right? So if you buy the yes token and the proposal fails, you can just get your money back. And similarly, if you see a proposal that you don't like, imagine it's a proposal to mint more PNK tokens in a way that you don't think it's worthwhile, think it's going to have too much dilution, or it's not worthwhile. You can just come and sell your yes tokens. So you can just sell the yes version of your tokens, and then if the proposal fails, you can you gotta get your tokens back. And the new idea here is to use this as a rule for Kleros on the minting of tokens, so that if there's ever a proposal that comes that mints more PNK tokens and doesn't have increase the price of PNK, so if the markets don't think any given proposal is good, the markets can basically veto, even if the markets are in some way a minority. So even if the majority of PNK token holders wants to mint more tokens, this is not possible unless the markets agree that this is a good idea, right? And you can do that right now. You can come to app.futarchy.fi, and you can trade on the PNK SDAI market, conditional on the proposal, which is KIP 76. So if you right, so for this one, it's just an advisory vote. For this one, it's only an advisory market. You can just come and see to trade. There's actually an interesting thing going on here. There was supposed to be a trading bot to keep the yes and no prices arbitrated with the spot price. But right now, the spot price is trading a little bit higher than both the yes and the no versions. So that's actually a great opportunity for anybody who is listening. You can just come here and you can both buy the yes version and also buy the no version. And you basically can buy PNK at a small discount. And if you want to, you can just sell the PNK on the spot market, maybe on CowSwap, maybe on some other exchange. And you can do a loop, and you can make about 1% profit or half percent profit on each loop. But you can come here and you can learn how to trade. And if you have any questions, you can ask. You can come to our Discord, or yeah. So that's it. Hope you guys find this market signal useful.
Yeah, that's definitely useful. especially if people that were looking to buy PNK, they can now get a discount, let's say. And I need to try it yet. And another thing that I think it's interesting, like this also, I think it's pretty valuable because we are promoting the use of Futarchy, and having this implemented on our DAO certainly adds a lot of weight to the opinions of our team members that are very much into this. And well, I think it's also a good way of experimenting in a way that is positive to the protocol. Nice. There's another experiment that I would like to talk about, and well, just one thing. If I'm not mistaken, Cas, in the, let's say, the infra that is being used in this case is that you are using Seer, right? Seer smart contracts.
Yes, we are.
On future. Okay, and the Oracle is Reality and Kleros, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay, that's also good. I imagine if we have a dispute on this case, probably won't happen, but it will be interesting. And also, well, we could pave the way for other protocols to do the same. I'm sure there are others in the same situation. And you also have like a market on about Gnosis Pay, right?
Yes, we do on the milestones for Gnosis Pay.
And which is the deadline? Can we still participate?
So
looks like I have an issue with my connection, but well, if you come to our Telegram group or share the links with about of this market and the other markets. So the other experiment that went live this week and is also secured by Kleros was launched by Butter, and it's a conditional funding markets launched for Unichain. The objective is to create markets to try to predict which will be the protocol that will have the most TVL on Unichain after, I think, in 2 or 3 days, and the winning protocol will get 100k USD to incentivize their users and incentivize liquidity to come to their protocol. And well, in this case, the markets are also being secured by Kleros. So in case there's a dispute, there will be a dispute on Kleros, and the jurors will vote on which market won or what was the TVL. Okay, I see that Cas has an issue. Let me see if I can invite him again. As always, Twitter Spaces doesn't work perfectly, but Cas, I think I sent you another invite. Let me see if you were able to join. Okay, it looks like the Gnosis Pay markets are already finished, but well, we still have the keep 76 markets to participate on.
issue. So just answer your question. I haven't listened to the last 2 minutes, but yeah. So the Gnosis Pay milestone is over. So it's actually about it's on the resolution period. So if you have trade on this previous project, you're going to be able to withdraw and redeem your tokens. So the milestone actually failed for this one. It got really close. So the market was whether Gnosis Pay would have 2 million euros in volume. I think it went up to 1.8 or 1.9 million, but it did not go to 2 million. So the on Reality.io it settled as we put up a no resolution. I don't think anybody has disputed that. If anybody would dispute that, it would escalate all the way to the Kleros court.
Interesting. Nice. Thanks for sharing. So the next ones, there are probably more eyes on the on the markets, and we'll probably get more accurate result, right? Because it's still early days.
Uh,
And
uh, it's well, it's I think it's less about being accurate. I mean, it's more like the no market was the real one because the milestone wasn't achieved. So if you purchase the no version of GNO, you're gonna you can redeem the no GNO back to GNO now. And similarly, but if you trade it on the yes market, if you trade it on for this market, if you trade it on GNO conditional on the milestone being met, you just got your money back now because the market just ended as no. So you don't lose anything by betting on a milestone. If you don't lose anything by making trades on a conditional market, conditional on a milestone. If the milestone is not met, you just get your money back.
oh, cool. Yeah, this is something that I still have to internalize.
Yeah. We are working on how to make it easier and more intuitive. This is a big problem. How making it easy to use. That's the biggest challenge we face, and the biggest challenge we're working on. But your feedback would be really appreciated.
Great. Yeah, but you know, for a lot of time, prediction markets were something like very outside the our normal reality, let's say, and now they're getting common, every day more common. So it's just a matter of time also to get the conditional prediction markets very internalized on everyone's mind. So well, great. So we had so we have that. We have the conditional funding prediction markets on Unichain by Butter. These are also live for a couple of days. And where else? Well, I think one of the most interesting events in prediction markets the last year is what's happening, have been happening the last couple of weeks on UMA, and there it's a market about if Zelenskyy wore a suit on, if I'm not mistaken, during June, and or if he did not wear a suit, and there are a lots of controversies about this, lots of discussions and different points of view, and in this case, there are some people that are arguing that he did wear a suit and that the oracle in this case, UMA, is not resolving correctly. They're saying, some people are saying that the people resolving this market are colluding and resolving it incorrectly on purpose to profit from the prediction market. And well, the next question is how Kleros is different than that, and how Kleros can solve markets more accurately. And there are a couple of comments that we can make about this. I think one of the most interesting ones is about the way that markets are created. Disputes are created on Kleros. The disputes are sent usually to a court with a certain amount of jurors, and there are times that there is a time to put the evidence on chain. It's actually on chain and shared by all people that are reading the case. And there are appeals where there's a new round of jurors that are selected, and then you also have the time for jurors to put their justifications out. Usually, when we have had markets that were controversial or had diverging opinions, usually there's a lot of discussions and people producing really complex evidences, even maybe people creating videos, people writing almost papers about the case. And there was a market about a Romanian election last year, where someone invited a lawyer from Romania to discuss about their electoral process. And we have seen this time and time again with different markets. And I'm not entirely sure this was present on this case on UMA. There's also some concerns about the concentration of token holders, and as far as I know, there is more distribution on Kleros, and usually we have seen cases where there are more participants than what people are reporting they're seeing on most of these poly market cases. And I had a question for William about this. Yeah, one question, William. On these markets where there is, it might be, how can I say? It might be required to have special knowledge about a topic. Do you think the SBT's research might help with that? So the court doesn't rely only on economic incentives?
I mean, generally, in all kinds of cases that where having special knowledge can be helpful. Like, as you probably are aware, and other people listening to this call, like in Kleros V1, like we mostly rely on game theoretic mechanisms to encourage people to stake into courts that are appropriate for their skill set. Because if you're in the wrong court and you're not qualified to handle whatever cases are being sent to you, you're going to gradually lose money over time, and you might want to eventually leave the court. We've thought a lot about how you can have explicit criteria in order to take part in decision making, where courts can require that you have the SPT to be saying that you're an expert on whatever. And yeah, that can be helpful. And we've done a lot of research that I see my sort of recent blog articles the defense that brings is compatible with and complementary to the defense that you get from the token against 51% attacks. So that if you design the system right, in order to attack a system that uses, PNK staking, but also screens for people having SPTs saying they're experts in things, people need to sort of break the SPT and the PNK like distribution.
Thanks. That's interesting. Yeah, I also saw some comments about people saying we should use an AI for that. Or maybe a consensus of AI. And well, that seems like a good idea, but there are also some concerns with hallucinations by AI, or even interference, or lots of issues that you have with humans. You can also have AI, right? They need to have the incentives aligned with the objective of the market. And we have right now the AI curation court, automated curation court, where you can stake and use an AI to answer the cases. I think on some types of cases you could also you could have like a pretty accurate answer for most prediction market answers. And I believe that could also set a little bit of a shelling point of what the answer should be for other jurors, for human jurors. Basically, in these markets, in these disputes, you can also appeal and call jurors from a court that is parameterized for humans. And in this case, the humans should vote, thinking about what will the final result of the court with humans. So that the shelling point should be the correct answer. And it should in this case flip the results if the AI has got something wrong. Yeah.
It's always good to have a human in the loop. I think at least society is more comfortable with that at this point. And even if, like in your early rounds of most Kleros cases, it's just AIs being the jurors who are competing against each other. At least that's like a good framework to give the the AIs like a decentralized structure to participate in, where it's not one AI. They're having to compete against each other. You don't have like an enshrined decision maker. So that's our vision, at least my vision, for sort of how these tools can interact.
Yeah, I think we agree on that. And it's hard to trust 100% in AI at this point, and probably will be like that for some time. Yeah, so one of the interesting outcomes of this controversy is that we are putting Kleros to the test, and also Seer. So there is a new market on Seer that is very similar to this one that was created on Polymarket, and someone created a dispute that is now on Kleros. There are jurors that have been that have been selected already, and you can provide evidence of what you think is the right answer for this question. And at the same time, if you want to trade on the outcome of the result of this dispute, you can also trade that on Seer. So if you think Zelenskyy wore a suit, you can buy the yes outcome, or if you think he didn't, you can buy the no outcome. And if you think, and of course, if you think the jurors will vote on yes, you can buy the yes. And if you think jurors will vote on the no, you can buy the no. Basically, you can trade on what you think the jurors will vote. I have my opinion. I won't share it here. Clement talked about this. I think it was yesterday. Yes, on the Token Dynamics podcast. It was pretty interesting. It always also touched on this topic. I really recommend checking it out. And I think also it's nice that we have now more attention on Seer. Polymarket, of course, it's doing a great job in many different ways, but it's nice that crypto Twitter and crypto is looking for alternatives, and we have like different approaches, including, for example, one thing that Seer has that Polymarket don't have is the ability for people to create markets themselves and verify them with Kleros. Also, you have a yield-bearing stablecoin that you can use to bet. So you can put money on an option and leave it there for some time without having the opportunity cost of not investing it on some yield-bearing protocol. You get that directly on Seer because it uses SDAI, which is a savings DAI that has, I think, 5 or 6% APY right now. So you don't lose your capital for making a bet. And you also have like conditional markets that are also allowed for lots of different things, including Futarchy. And there's another benefit that Seer doesn't have a token yet, and you can earn Seer points by providing liquidity. That's I think we don't mention it very much, but it's also relevant for if you want to have a part of this platform. It's a good idea to participate on Seer. Great. I think these are the main topics that I had for today. Just a couple of reminders. We have the Juror Incentive Program. The rewards will be distributed this week. They're a bit delayed but now that the team is back home, they will proceed with that. We had the shelling game on DAppCon and also on ETH CC, and so there will be rewards for participants. This is also be distributed this week. And we have the Kleros Scout program. We had lots of discussions about what will be the future of the Kleros Scout incentive program. And for now, it has been renewed. Maybe next month we'll have some changes to incentivize, like to make the best use of this program. Great. So I think that's it for me today. If you have any questions, you can come to our Telegram group or even DM me. And let's talk on Telegram. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody.